Hello everyone. Welcome to today's live stream of Mission 29, also known as 27B. Today is finally the day where we return to orbital flight with an AurigaMAX launch vehicle. The rocket you see on your screen is AurigaMAX Block 2, Rocket 1. It features numerous upgrades over Block 1 such as software upgrades, heat shielding engines, and more. The launcher's pad has also been updated, as you can see. The failure of the last AurigaMAX orbital attempt mission prompted us to switch over to this upgraded variant. Today's mission will carry a reflight of the Phoenix Sat payload, named Phoenix Sat-2. We also have a couple Arcturus satellites, which is our internal communications and internet constellation. Fueling is well underway and almost complete, as you can see on the left. In the top right you can see other info such as wind and temperature. Below that you can see that everything is go, no issues are being tracked at this time. In preparation for this important mission, we perform 2 wet dress rehearsals or WDR tests, which is a practice of all actual countdown procedures without firing the engines. Although we did perform a static fire test yesterday to validate all 3 of the first stage's engines for flight, let's take a look at that.
10, water on, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. The 7 shut down. Static fire sequence complete.
As I mentioned earlier, one of the upgrades on AurigaMAX Block 2 is some new engines. The engine used on the first stage is the AX2 sea-level variant. There are 3 of these engines on board lined up in a row inside the engine bay. The center engine is used for the landing procedure burns. The second stage propulsion is function of the AX2U vacuum-optimized engine. It has a large expansion nozzle and higher thrust to provide the highest efficiency outside of the atmosphere. Alright, now, we're coming up on the business end of today's countdown. The strong back will be retracting shortly, which is the black structure next to the launch vehicle. And there it goes. We angle that structure away from the rocket to prevent damage to the associated hardware. You will now be able to hear some of the mission control communications. On the left of your screen you can see that the rocket is fully fueled up with all propellant tanks at 100%. Some final checks will be underway shortly before the rocket enters startup mode, or automated sequencing.
Go back water limit's good.
An abort, hold, or recycle will be called by itself.
HE488 is good.
Vehicles in auto idle. Vehicles in startup.
Alright, AurigaMAX Block 2 Rocket 1 is all go and for mission 29. I'll stop commentary now and see you in space.
GNC, confirm stage 2 TVC motion check started.
TVC motion has started.
LD, go for launch.
Eon Space is heading back to orbit. Mission 29's Rocket 1 has passed through max Q and is approaching main engine burnout. Reminder that due to payload weight constraints we will not be attempting to recover the first stage booster. Instead it will fall into the water uncontrolled. Stage 1's propellants levels have depleted and the engines have cut off. Stage separation will be performed any second now. And we are in second stage flight. Look at the beautiful vacuum engine burning in space. Fairing separation has been confirmed, exposing Phoenix Sat-2 and Arcturus to space. Today we will be performing multiple engine burns to reach the target altitude of around 200 kilometers. We won't remain live for those but will instead return at around L plus 10 hours to show final orbital insertion and payload deployment.
Option set.
Confirmed option as received.
That callout is a generic/standard procedure to arm the Stage 2 safing systems to prevent unwanted functions after second engine cutoff. Our targeted parking orbit is set to be at 50 by 45 km orbit.
Seco.
AurigaMAX has pushed forward again. Orbit has been reached. Here we will perform checkouts across multiple orbit phases before igniting the engine to enter the final Phoenix-dependent one. Thank you for joining us for this historic return mission, and we'll see you later today for success number 2.